Ben needs to find out if prenuptial agreements are legally binding in the UK. He decides to start with Google. These are his results. How useful are they? You'll see that the results at the top of the list have add by the URL. This is because companies pay Google to ensure that their sites appear at the top. In this case, you'll find sites for firms offering prenuptial agreements. So not that useful to Ben. The next result is for Wikipedia. We all use Wikipedia, so Ben decides to click on that result. He finds some general information about prenuptial agreements in different jurisdictions, so scrolls down to find the section on the UK. Here's what he finds. The next reference is to the BBC News website. Now, both of these sources could be assumed to be fairly reliable sources of news. However, they are both 6 years old. Also, in any research, you need to make reference to primary sources of law, that is, cases and legislation, not just commentary, which is what both of these articles are. The final sentence states, you can assume from this that this section has not been updated for some years, with Wikipedia warning you that it is dated info. You definitely do not want to be relying on dated information. The other issue with Wikipedia is there are no author details, so we don't know who has contributed to this article and what their credentials are. Okay, so Ben decides he'd better look up the case mentioned in the articles, Radmacher and Grantino. So he Googles it. He's presented with over 7,000 results. As the second one is for the UK Supreme Court blog, he decides to start there. Here he finds a useful summary of the case, and as it's from the Supreme Court, it must be reliable. Again though, bear in mind that it's dated 24th of October 2010. It also contains a link to the case itself, so Ben clicks on that. This is a transcript of the judgment, 70 pages. However, what it cannot tell us is how this judgment has been treated in the past 6 years. Is it still good law? Ben is feeling a bit confused about what he's found so far. He feels like he's on the right lines, but thinks he's missing something. Where else should he look? He decides to ask the friendly librarian at the desk. They suggest that he should start on the library webpage. From here, he can access all the main UK legal databases which contain up-to-date authoritative material. The librarian suggests that Insight on Westlaw would be a good place to start. What is Insight? According to Westlaw, it's an ever-evolving and growing online legal encyclopedia that aims to provide a comprehensive statement of the law in the United Kingdom. You can browse by topic or type in your search term. Suggestions will appear as you type. When you click search, you'll get a list of results which include the date the material was last updated. This gives him details of the author, the date it was last updated, an overview of the topic, and then scrolling down the page, you will find links to key cases, legislation, authoritative up-to-date primary sources of law, and further reading. At the bottom, you will find links to cases, legislation, and journal articles on this topic, and this section is updated daily. Ben clicks on the link to the Radmacher case, which takes him to the case analysis document on Westlaw. The librarian also mentions that the glossary on Lexis Library can be a useful place to start research. The next screen will have a definition or summary of the law and again links to up-to-date cases, legislation and commentary, including the authoritative legal encyclopedia, Halsbury's Laws of England. Ben is feeling a lot happier now. Google did find some relevant material, but he wasn't sure how up-to-date it was. Using the legal databases means he can be confident that he's found the right answer and that he can cite reliable sources in his research. So he asks the librarian if he needs to give up his Google habit completely. They let him into a secret. Even librarians use Google. It can be really useful, particularly for finding official government or law commission publications, but for cases and legislation, you should always rely on the legal databases.